Ragini Mishra, co-founder of My Positivity Matters with Nivedita Ganapati, my co-founder, to talk about our new series, which is about personal transformation through Vedic philosophy, and give a little bit of a background. That I'd like to have Nivedita share about her journey briefly.
I pursued a legal career very seriously, and I was really doing very well until I realized that there was something missing in my life. It took me a while to understand that. I went into law thinking this is a very noble profession, which it is, but I realized that that was not the way I wanted to reach out to people. There was an aspect of me that was reaching out and craving for another level of satisfaction. So that's how I started this journey of reaching for something bigger than just thriving. And then I met you, and then you were so enthusiastic about taking this to the people at large in and around Silicon Valley and elsewhere, and that actually inspired me, your enthusiasm. And here we are. It's been a nice journey.
Amazing. Yeah, it's an incredible journey, I would say.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to My Positivity Matters. I'm Ragini Mishra, co-founder of My Positivity Matters with Nivedita Ganapati, my co-founder. And today we are here to talk about our new series, which is about personal transformation through Vedic philosophy. And before we go ahead, I would like to give a brief introduction for My Positivity Matters. So My Positivity Matters is a personal growth and coaching platform where we provide various programs that helps us to break through barriers and expand possibilities in the area of relationships, career, personal growth, and finding purpose in life. So be it any challenge or situation, the programs actually help you to break through that, and it helps you to succeed in these areas. We have done in last 3-4 years, we have launched several programs, and we have understood that whatever the limiting thoughts are there within us, that is the block, and because of that we are not able to break through. And so I have my coach here, Nivedita Ganapati, and I have seen that her experience and expertise specifically into Vedic philosophy, her understanding of that model, that concept is really instrumental in bringing these transformations. So that is why we wanted to bring this series, because we have so many case studies and success stories, and this is not being shared very openly, and it's not very also common. I mean, at least I have not seen where Vedic philosophy coaching, like the Vedic coaching, is used to bring personal transformation as such. The way it is communicated, it is not very much visible that I can see. So that is the background of today's session. And whereas, like, I also would like to give my passion, like just talk about my passion, why we, what is there that helped me to find this purpose, like why even My Positivity Matters was started. Because I was always passionate about spiritual practices, and like try to learn these concepts at a personal level. But when I saw these amazing transformations, when I started to go to Nivedita's programs, and I saw people experiencing amazing breakthroughs, that inspired me that what if this can go to more people. And that is where we launched this platform, because that way we can introduce these concepts to more people. And personally experiencing the breakthroughs in the programs, and also seeing other people getting these transformations, really inspired me to offer this to more people. So now I'd like to talk and give a little bit of a background for Nivedita Ganapati, those of you who don't know. So Nivedita Ganapati is a personal transformation coach and a spiritual seeker. She's highly qualified, and she's a Harvard lawyer, but left her career in order to help people to kickstart personal growth and help them in their in this journey of spirituality. So after working with her for so many years, I have seen like how much passionate she is about this, and putting like so much efforts for everybody who are in different challenges, and help them to come into this positive state of mind. So yeah, so with that, I'd like to have Nivedita also to share about her journey briefly and to get to know about her as well.
Thank you, Ragini, and welcome. Yes, I would definitely like to, share my journey, how I came into this. And like Ragini said, I pursued a legal career very seriously, and I was really doing very well until I realized that there was something missing in my life. And later I learned that that syndrome is called the successful malcontent. So by all societal measures, people think you're very successful, you have a good family, you have health, you have a prosperous and successful business or profession, and yet something inside you can't quite put a finger, right? So many people you hear. And it took me a while to understand that I went into law thinking this is a very noble profession, which it is, and I'm going to help people. But I realized that that was not the way I wanted to reach out to people. There was an aspect of me that was reaching out and craving for another level of satisfaction than just money and societal name and fame and that sort of thing. So at some point I decided to leave that career and explore personal development and spirituality. And I come from a background of Vedic philosophy. My family is, my father especially was deeply into it, and at the same time he was an extremely successful business person in India. In our own state of Orissa, he was extremely well known and successful, not just at the state level, national and international level. And so from early on, this concept of material and spiritual success can coexist was very evident to me. And but also I realized that the legal training was very important to develop a rigorous way of thinking. When I speak about Vedic philosophy, and a lot of people talk about it, but some of them speak strictly in a spiritual environment. But that's why perhaps it's not so well known. It has not gone as far as it could have. But I realized that bringing my legal training makes me talk about it in a certain way as if I'm presenting it to a judge. So it has to be backed up by data, research, not because I think so or somebody said so. You have to back it up. So that's how I realized that, I started this journey of something, reaching for something bigger than just thriving. And I've never looked back after that. And as I started working on myself, I realized that I can actually teach this to people so that they don't have to reinvent the wheel again and again. And then I met you, and then you were so enthusiastic about taking this to the people at large in and around Silicon Valley and elsewhere, and that actually inspired me. Your enthusiasm for taking this and then helping people really inspired me. And here we are. It's been a nice journey.
Amazing. Yeah, it's an incredible journey, I would say.
Yes.
And yeah, like you said, I mean, these things, until unless we don't experience, we don't know. And that is where I think the majority of people are, where we have to first experience. And for even before experiencing, the thought process has to be there, right?
Yes.
Like, even if it's possible or not,
Yes.
something like this, does it even exist?
Yeah.
I mean, Vedic philosophy, and you're talking about personal transformation, people would maybe not even associate them together. And this is what, I mean, my perception was also a few years ago. That, okay, this is like whatever the rituals and the practices we do, I mean, we just do it, right? Without even knowing the significance and understanding, or like why it is so powerful and what to do. It's like, there's not much clarity into those things, right? And there are a lot of misconceptions, myths, and fears, and different kind of like stigma as well, right? Many times I see that how people, when we meet them, some people I've seen that they always say that I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. So you get a sense, right, how people perceive these philosophies and the knowledge, and that comes actually from Hinduism, right?
Yeah.
So there are certain areas where we have to like put some light and create awareness. That is actually one of the most important, I think, for us to, at least people who have experienced, they can shed the light.
Yeah.
People who have not experienced and they just at the level where they're introspecting, maybe they're not even completely out of it, but at least they are not accepting it.
Yeah.
Some people want to keep it hidden, that even if they do things, they don't want to put it out there because they don't want to be judged.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are the kind of things that we should address, because until and unless we don't do that, we will not be able to fully accept it.
Absolutely.
And if we don't fully accept it, that means we don't believe in it. If we don't believe in it, it's not going to work for us.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So the goal here is, because of the past experiences that we had with, at least I would say in my case, at least 3-4 years that I'm working with you, and because your expertise is Vedic philosophy, this is what you use for your coaching. So for me, the confidence has increased a lot, because I talk to these people before they start the program, during the program, after the program, and in 8 weeks, I see the shift.
Yes.
With them, I'm able to see certain things that many people are not able to see. So how can we bring that in this series, like all of these success stories, case by case, story by story, so that we can open more eyes, and have more people connect with this. So the goal here, as part of this today's the topic, that bringing personal transformation through Vedic philosophy, is to first understand that this is even a possibility. Second thing is how, like, understanding through the examples. The which all areas people are struggling and going through the challenges, identifying those, and then you can maybe share your experiences and the tools, and like what kind of expertise you put there, and those kind of things, so people can get the perspective.
Yes.
And so like to start with that, I think before even we go in deeper into what is Vedic philosophy, I think we need to understand like few of the areas that we will be exploring, and you tell me like if these areas you think is really relevant. So I'm thinking that because this is where people are struggling, is the topmost area is relationship. People are going through challenges, relationships. Then the mental health, where a lot of things come into that wide category, like depression is there, stress, work-life balance of stress because of that, and then health issues. Because of health issues, a lot of people are suffering because of mental health issues, right? Then comes the lack of satisfaction, the contentment, right? The dissatisfaction. Even if you have everything in your life, like everything is, you think it's going well in your life, but the job is fine, financial security is there, family is fine, everything is good, still there is some dissatisfaction and feeling a void in life, right? So what is that, and how? Because majority of people are also there, many people I talk to. Then comes the area of like job security, because of whatever is going in the current market and all. So these are the areas I'm thinking, and to explore further in the series as we go further. So
to address your first question, there's people in the modern world, especially areas like Silicon Valley, any big urban city, they say that we are spiritual but not religious. What is the difference? Why do the people say that? So Vedic philosophy, when you think, spirituality is that part of every religion that is common in every religion, the essence of human beings. Who are we? What is this universe? And what is the relationship? That is spirituality. It has no religious connotations. But when we talk about religion, it becomes specific to a certain area, a certain culture, a certain age, a certain ethnicity or race. So that's why when people talk about religion, they're a little sensitive, because whether it will be received or not, because religion is not universal, spirituality is universal. So Vedanta, Vedic philosophy is universal. In fact, in Sanskrit, it's called Sanatana, eternal, dharma, right way of living. But when we talk about Hinduism, then we come down to the realm of rituals, We come down to the realm of gods and goddesses, mythological characters. So in Vedic coaching, there are three levels that I utilize in my practice. First is, it has to be the foundation of it all is the philosophy of the concept of who are we, why are we here, how did we find ourselves in this situation, what is the world, what is our relationship with the people, objects, and world. That is Vedic philosophy. But it's like in science, in quantum physics, you say you go to a village and you say, E equals mc square. How many people are going to understand what is E equals mc square? Right? That is Vedic philosophy. So then comes the realm of mythology. You take these ideas that are eternal, like gravity, like electricity, like magnetism, and then you put a human face to these ideas. So then comes the realm of gods and goddesses. These are archetypes, energies that you work with, plus they are a representation of a certain concept, a certain frequency, a certain idea. For instance, when you're looking at, we did a Hanuman workshop. Hanuman, that he's the Vedic seers or the scientists of Vedic philosophy are called rishis. Rishis is seers. They have this understanding of a mastered mind. Now, how to explain that? So they create a character. And they say, this is what you should aspire to be like. If you want to master your mind, this is the character that it's so much easier in the form of stories and personages, right? So that is the mythology, where all this you will hear Hanumanji and Ram and Sita and Mahabharata and all these heroes and heroines and demons and whatnot. Every culture has it. The Greek culture has it. You go to any, if not the epics, then they will have fairy tales. And then comes the rituals. Rituals are necessary for the body. We need to experience something. Philosophy is all fine. Mythology and archetypes are all fine. How can I experience that energy? So I utilize in Vedic coaching all three. As you have seen in all our workshops, we have some rituals, which is you touch and feel, flesh and bone. Mythology is feel good and aspire for something. Like we all want to be Harry Potter. We all want to be Batman. We all want to be Superman.
Yeah.
And then you go to the philosophy level. Why? Why is Batman better or worse or desirable or less desirable than Joker? Why is Harry Potter better or worse than the Slytherins? Why? That information comes from the philosophy. So that's one aspect of it. The other thing you said about, how can spirituality answer questions about personal development?
Yeah.
Because through these are eternal truths. These don't change with millennia after millennia, they hold truth. And also because these, the mythology deals with all kinds of situations that are also eternal. For instance, the conjugal relationship between a husband and wife, fraternal relationship between siblings, filial relationship, parent and children. So there are high ideals in all areas of relationships, which are the highest the human beings can think of. And in modern world, the focus is me and mine. What is it in for me? And the minute you drop down to me and mine, you are limited. Because you are against the rest of the world. So you have to protect yourself. There's always fear. Yeah. So the Vedic philosophy, the solution to that is yajna. You are not here to do things just for you and you. Everything you do is not only for your betterment, but you must give back to the collective. So once you understand that at every level, between husband and wife, there is a yajna going on. What can I do for you? But very many times, if you don't understand the philosophy properly, in the garb of helping somebody else, what happens? You start forgetting who you are. You start neglecting yourself. You start limiting yourself. So you lose your power. Once you lose your power, once you stop loving yourself, honoring yourself, respecting yourself,
You cannot receive it from anybody, nor can you give it to anybody. So in Vedic philosophy, we go back to one of the Vedic principles, Swadha before Swaha. So why do we do these ancestral rituals? We just went through Mahalaya.
Yeah.
We did Pitra Paksha,
Yeah.
right? Why is that important?
And these kind of rituals, they also exist in other religions.
Every-
Different
yes.
by different names,
Yes.
but they have a lot of similarities. Right?
Yes,
In terms
similar.
of
Halloween is coming up.
Halloween, yeah.
The Mexican culture, they have the Cinco de Mayo and
Yeah.
other things. I'm told, I have not delved as deeply into it as I have delved into the Vedic part of it. So when we say Swadha before Swaha, Swadha is you are giving gratitude to your ancestors. You are where you are because generations of people have sacrificed and have aspired for a better life.
Yeah.
So you must understand when you're giving yourself to somebody else, what are you giving? Who are you? What do you bring? So if you do not know who you are, what will you give to another person?
Yeah.
That is why all the rituals are interlinked. You're not doing it because somebody somewhere, some spirit is getting in it. This is an acknowledgement that so many generations of people have sacrificed themselves, aspired for a better life. And you are the result of that aspiration.
Yeah.
You find that out, and then Swaha. Swa is me, Ha is I give it to you. I must know who I am before I give it to you.
Yeah.
So all these rituals are interrelated.
Yeah, definitely. I think it makes a lot of sense here. But before we even dive deeper into that, I would like you to, give a brief introduction for what is Vedic philosophy for the listeners who are, even hearing about Vedic philosophy for the first time, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know, but just we can have an introduction.
And Vedic philosophy, we can talk till kingdom comes and it will never be enough. But like you said, a very short, elevator pitch would be, I think of it as simple as 1, 2, 3. Number one, there is only one consciousness, one power. You can call it by any name you want. That power is one. And it is available to everyone. And the beauty of it is inside you. You don't have to go looking for it. You just have to discover it. It's always there. It can never leave you. Everything will go away. The people in your life, the objects, the name and fame, your accomplishments, your possessions. But that power, even if you want to, will not leave you. So that is number one. Know that there is one power. The ancient people, the wise people have called it by different names. So once you understand that, you know that you're never alone. You are the power. The basic quest of human beings, what distinguishes human beings from animals is this quest, who am I? Animals don't ask, who am I? Koham in Sanskrit, who am I? And Vedanta, Vedic philosophy says soham. That what you're aspiring for, the highest, the best.
That is what you are.
That's what you are. Everything, all powerful, always available, always, everywhere is you. So that's number one. Number two is, then how do we experience it? That energy has to split into two. To have any kind of experience, there has to be a subject and an object. The subject is Purusha, not Purusha in Sanskrit. Many people falsely think is the man. No, it's the consciousness. Pura Isha. Pura is a place, container, and Isha is the ruler. So your consciousness rules this space, which is matter. Purusha, Prakriti. So two. To understand that energy can only be understood and experienced once it splits into two. And we can talk about it in many ways. Consciousness and matter, masculine principle and feminine principle, an inception and a reception. All of the universe is created by that. So delving deeper into that. In Sanskrit, it's called aham and idam. I and everything else. Idam, that.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang, of course.
Yeah.
Yin and yang. And then that energy, now we know that you have experienced. Something has to be in front of you to experience. So you have to split yourself into two.
Yeah.
The same energy splits itself into two.
Yeah.
There's not a different energy. Then comes number three. how do you create this universe? How do you experience this universe? Is you have to create something, you have to sustain something, and you have to dissolve something. Therein comes the tripartite gods and goddesses.
Yeah.
You have Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, creative energy, sustenance energy, dissolution energy, or you have Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati. The energy that creates, the energy that sustains, the energy. So you can give it any name, any spin. But ultimately, there are three energies: one for creation, one's for sustenance, and one is to dissolve.
So it's the same energy, but
Yes.
different forms. That's what you
Exact
mean.
different aspects of it.
Different aspects.
So
of the
it's
same.
one splits into two, and then it splits into three. So slowly that one energy is becoming more. From one, when it goes to
Splitting.
many, it's called Maya. That one energy can create an illusion of many energies.
So all these gods that you're talking about, the principle of creation, sustenance, and the dissolution, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So this is also part of Maya.
Yes,
Okay.
part of Maya, as in there is only Brahman,
Yeah.
which has no name, no form, nobody else. How can you experience in your deep sleep,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
You can't experience yourself in deep sleep.
Yeah.
So when do you experience? When you create a dream world.
Mm.
So nobody created the dream world for you. You created it.
Yeah.
You withdraw it into yourself. So be that as it may, but bringing it to personal transformation, understanding that there is only one power, and that power is orchestrating and is pervading everything and orchestrating everything, including me. So no need to feel fear, because fear limits us. Fear has a role in life. Because for survival, fear is important.
Yeah.
But if you only experience fear, you are always stuck in survival. Now you have to go to thrive. So then what happens is you have to, at the fear level, what we feel is, I'm talking in relation to personal development, that I have no power. I'm a victim. Scarcity mentality. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. People coming, even though they may have a lot, but their mindset is focused on what I don't have. Then I train them through the help of Vedic coaching to go to the thrive level, where we did a prosperity workshop recently. Where do you realize I have the power?
Yeah.
I have the power to create. And that works great for some time. But even that, after a time, is going to, which is what is successful malcontent, which I was feeling. I have everything. Why am I unhappy?
Mm.
Because you get caught in a loop. It's an infinite loop of creating goals, fulfilling it, creating more goals, because each goal will bring in its wake 1,000 more goals, desires. And you get caught in that loop. And after a while, you want to get off, but you're not able to get up. Then you need a third energy, which is transcend. I don't want to create anything. So you go from needing something. I need security, I need money, I need a relationship, I need name, I need fame too. I don't need it, but I want it. And after a while, I don't need it, I don't want it, but I intend to if it is necessary. So I don't have to do it all the time.
Yeah.
So learning these three stages, that's how you bring these three energies. That is the Shiva's energy. I transcend. I don't have to constantly set goals.
It's also maybe like the third stage, like, not being too attached,
Exactly.
doing it, getting it, but not being attached,
Yes.
like in a detached format.
Exactly. So that helps you to go beyond that. And understanding, again, when people come to me, they have various problems, various issues.
Yeah.
The one thing that Vedanta has taught me is there are only three core desires. One is Sat,
Yeah.
which is also the actual definition of God principle according to Vedanta. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat is the need to survive, that which never diminishes. We always have a need to survive.
Yeah.
Ultimately, survival is what? I don't want to die.
Yeah.
Or my dreams should not die, or my family should not die, or my job should not die.
Yeah.
Once you know that, is that your goal? Second is Chit. I need to know why. For some time, you can keep on doing rituals, but at one point you will say, what the hell? Why am I doing these rituals?
Yeah.
The need to know
Yeah.
is very important. Then the third desire is everything everybody does, not just you and me, all the animals, all the plants, all the stars, is because of joy. Everybody does everything because in search of joy, Ananda. Nobody is doing anything because they want to feel bad. or low or limited.
Yeah.
So, which of these things are you working with? Sat, Chit, or Ananda? That categorizes it. What is the issue? Are you in this phase or this phase or this phase? Automatically, the other two phases will dissolve and you focus on one phase. That's where Vedanta helps in personal coaching.
But also, depending on which stage you are in, you have certain kind of a programming, right? Like, for example, there are certain things we do unconsciously. And like people who are maybe very young, and they have not done a lot of spiritual practices. Suddenly, the deep interest in spirituality comes in, right?
Yes.
So it has to do nothing with the age as well. These kind of progressions that you're talking about. So whatever, like these are kind of, how does that even happen, right?
So you have to understand various core principles of Vedanta, and one thing which people may or may not accept, but the more they explore, they will realize it's an inevitable fact, because the universal principles don't owe you any explanation. They go just like gravity, they don't need your permission to work. So likewise, the thing that explains this, the phenomenon that explains what you just asked, is called the law of karma and reincarnation. So in every lifetime, we focus our energies, our actions, our thoughts, our words are predominantly towards a certain activity. And we develop a certain gift or talent or skill set in that. When this body perishes after a lifetime of 70, 80, 100 years, that doesn't vanish. It is kept in an iCloud account called Akashic Records, which thereafter looks for another body to fulfill itself. That is why many times you will see children who are 4 years old are prodigies in piano. Where did they learn? Why talk about spirituality? Some people from childhood, they don't want to cook and they're good cooks. They can, in sports, certain sports, they have an affinity.
Affinity.
Where does that come from? So likewise, spirituality is such a thing. And again, the Vedantic books, the scriptures or the books talk about it. That, if you're aspiring towards a certain goal in this lifetime and you're not able to fulfill it, don't despair. It's not the end of it. In the next lifetime, you will not start from ground zero. You will start from there. So you have a heads up in the next lifetime. That's why those who come into spirituality or anything for that matter early on, because they have a programming running in the background, right? So it's a question of, let's think about this. When you go to a restaurant, there's a big line. You put your name down there. They give you the little contraption that beeps and all that. You go away. When it beeps, you come back. So those who are in line, they'll say, how come you are cutting the line? But you were there before. You have learned those things. You have put your name. You have earned the right to go and before others.
Okay. So here, I think the karma and reincarnation, it's a very deep concept, of course. We cannot even touch, at the surface level as well today. But it has all the answers. I feel like whatever the things that we see around us, the fair things, unfair things that look like unfair, also there is a reason why it's happening, right?